Welcome to another episode of Crimson Sin with Tamsin Lee. I am your host, Tamsin Lee. Full show notes and sources can be found in the description. Today's episode is a little different. I wanted to try something new by covering some of the most bizarre headlines that recently appeared in the news. Because these cases are still ongoing, I cannot do a deep dive into these incidents, but thought it was noteworthy to keep my listeners in the loop about current crime cases happening now around the world. Let me know if you enjoy this format at the end by leaving a comment. Our first headline is from the United States, where a man from Louisiana was arrested after he allegedly stalked his estranged wife, killed her, and then staged the crime as a burglary. Authorities took 49-year-old David Hernandez into custody on April 15, 2024, on charges of second-degree murder and obstruction of justice. Authorities stated in a press release that Hernandez allegedly placed a tracking device on 45-year-old Lisa Hernandez's car, showed up at her work unannounced, and later beat her to death in her Ponchatoula home. Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office responded to a call on the night of March 20th, where they discovered Lisa Hernandez covered in blood on the floor, lying between her bed and dresser. Lisa's 24-year-old daughter called emergency services after finding her mother unresponsive. First responders tried performing life-saving measures, but the attempts were unsuccessful. A homicide investigation soon followed, where investigators identified David Hernandez as the primary suspect in the case. During their investigation, authorities discovered that after a year of separation, Hernandez reportedly started stalking Lisa and randomly showing up at her place of employment. He also reportedly sent Lisa a bouquet of flowers that included lilies, which Lisa was highly allergic to. Media reports state that the lily symbolizes death. However, through my research, I found that this is not necessarily true. Lilies are associated with funerals because this is when they are most given, symbolizing the innocence that has been restored to the soul of the departed. But there are red spider lilies, which are supposedly associated with graves and death, which is sad because these flowers are very pretty, and I often see them growing along the road everywhere in Louisiana. So investigators also stated they discovered a tracking device on her vehicle that had been linked to David. Authorities believe David Hernandez staged a burglary using items in her home to kill her and then dumped the evidence in Lake Pontchartrain. The sheriff's office was able to obtain surveillance footage that shows David throwing something into the lake from the Causeway Bridge shortly after Lisa was killed. Investigators were able to recover these items he allegedly dumped in the water. According to Jimmy Travis, chief of operations at the Tangipahoa Sheriff's Office, the Jefferson Parish dive team recovered a hammer that investigators believe was used in the beating. Travis told WWL Louisiana he thought he was throwing away these items someplace that they would be gone forever, never realizing that the area he was in, he was on video surveillance while he was doing it. Investigators also believe that David had been planning the murder and staged a burglary in Lisa's house to make it appear as though an intruder was to blame. Autopsy results for Lisa Hernandez are still pending as of this episode, but authorities stated that it appeared Lisa had been beaten with both blunt and sharp objects. Lisa Hernandez's obituary states Lisa was employed by St. Tammany Pediatrics, where she loved working with young children. Besides spending quality time with her girls, Lisa was an avid reader, and one of her favorite book series was Harry Potter. She would visit Universal Studios every chance she could, spending hours at the Harry Potter themed areas. She also enjoyed visiting Disney World. The next headline takes place in Mexico, where police are currently investigating a man who could possibly be a serial killer after bones, a saw, blood, and the ID cards of missing women were found in rooms he rented. Prosecutors in Mexico City did not identify the suspect by name. However, authorities provided his first name, Miguel, and stated the man was being held for trial on charges of murder and attempted murder of 2 women. These charges were brought against the suspect after he allegedly waited for a woman to leave her apartment. After the woman left, the suspect rushed in, sexually assaulted and strangled her 17-year-old daughter. As he was leaving, the mother saw him and the suspect slashed her neck and fled. The mother survived the attack, but unfortunately the daughter did not. The suspect lived near the crime scene and was quickly identified and caught. Investigators carried out a search of an apartment Miguel rented nearby where, according to city prosecutor Ulysses Lara, they found evidence that clearly indicates they are looking at a possible serial killer of women. Lara stated during the search of the apartment, authorities found biological material, including bloodstains, bones, a saw, and cell phones and missing women's ID cards. They also discovered a series of notebooks that may well be narrations of the acts that Miguel carried out against his victims. Lara did not state how many sets of bones or ID cards were found in Miguel's apartment. However, local media reported figures ranging from 7 to as many as 20 possible victims. Regardless of how many victims' lives the suspect may or may not have taken, the incident continues to spark debates about the competence of Mexican officers when it comes to finding serial killers in their country. This is all the information that has been released about the case so far. So what are your thoughts on these cases? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, let me know if you want to hear more episodes like this. After the cases have more details and are closed, I can post an update or create longer episodes focusing solely on these incidents. Thank you for listening and your support. Stay safe, and I will see you for the next episode. Bye.